our next guest from The Leftovers, from Fargo, from a lot of things. Her movie is called The Nest. It's available on digital and VOD now. Please say hello to Carrie Coon at your homes. Hi, Carrie. How are you?
I'm great, Jimmy. How are you?
I'm doing well. Boy, I have to tell you, I realized this was your first time on the show. I was surprised because I feel like you've been on before. I love The Leftovers. I loved you on The Leftovers. And we did one of these big Emmy Q&As for The Leftovers.
Yes.
And I have to say, I was
remember.
surprised at how normal and upbeat and friendly you were, I have to say, because you play some intense characters typically.
I do. Yeah, thank you for that. Yeah, my family is really mystified by my career, that I'm always crying and yelling and breaking things, because I'm actually quite easygoing. And directors are always really surprised, too, when they meet me. In fact, Bryan Cranston stole my bit, so.
Yeah, you and Bryan Cranston are kind of a lot alike because, yeah, you think, Walter White and Your Honor and everything.
I also bake bread.
You're a bread baker? Wow. Well, and you're in the Ghostbusters movie what is it, Ghostbusters Afterlife that's coming out as well.
That's right. Yes. Yeah, it's pretty surreal. I grew up with that show playing on my TV in the 80s, and now I'm going to hear that music for the rest of my life.
Are you revealing something that perhaps you were not supposed to? Is Ray Parker Jr. included in this new Ghostbusters movie?
How could he not be? How could he not be?
I know, you're right. A lot of the original cast is in. I assume you worked with Bill Murray, which is always, that's an experience for people.
It is indeed, and he did not disappoint, I must say. On Bill's birthday, they had the Calgary cheerleaders come in, but he had already made plans. He brought his own bagpiper and sang us a funeral dirge, which was very entertaining. And then, really generously, he also got these Thai masseuses in on the set for 2 days, and so the crew could just pop in and have a 15 or 20-minute massage. So he is, he's unfailingly himself. It seems kind of exhausting, but I think he's still enjoying it.
At any point, did you just kind of, and I don't want to put thoughts in your head, but did you just go like, wow, here I am working with Bill Murray? And, there are a lot of people I'm sure you have that thought about. But to me, that's as far as I'm concerned, that's the top of the heap.
Well, he and I are both Cubs fans. He invited me to watch the game. And knowing that like Bill Murray and Harold Ramis are from Chicago, which is a place where I live, I just kind of can't believe where I am now compared to where I started, because I actually auditioned for graduate school in Chicago. That was the first time I came to the city. And my mom and my aunts and my grandma all came with me to cheer me on. And they just really got drunk on martinis in the basement of the Palmer House. And I kind of wake up in the morning, can't believe this is my life. When I think about that night, I was in a hotel room with my grandma and we heard some banging and she turned to me and said, I think those people are having sex. And now here I am, Ghostbusters Afterlife, which will be, the headline in my obituary.
And those people grew up to be Donald Trump and Stormy Daniels. Isn't it amazing the way these things? I love the idea of your whole family coming to an audition with you.
Well, they were really there for the drinks, but it's a nice idea. They also had me, singing with a piano player in the hotel bar to practice my monologue, and they're a good time. They're a lot of fun. They're very critical, though.
Are they really? Really?
Yes.
Of you?
Well, I mean, they're very supportive, but for example, in my film, The Nest, I do a lot of smoking. And, they always made fun of me on stage for smoking poorly, not being good at it, because they were all smokers growing up. So,
Really?
they definitely they keep me grounded. Let's put it that way.
You think after The Leftovers, you'd know your way around a cigarette. I mean, Nora smoked
No, they thought
a little.
they thought my smoking was terrible in The Leftovers.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, maybe you need to smoke more is the message that your family is sending
My
you.
mom has always recommended that I take up smoking, yes, to help me relax.
The Nest is, this is not about one of those thermometers people put on the wall, the thermostat. I'm assuming, maybe it is.
No, it's not. It's not a climate control haunting, no.
Okay. The smoke detector doesn't go off every time you light up? No.
Not in this particular film. It's the 80s, so it's pre-Nest. No, it's about a married couple. It's about the tacit agreements we make that make up a marriage, and whether or not those marriages can survive when we let go of our delusions, just like America.
Yeah. Did you hear what happened today? Donald Trump got impeached again. It keeps happening. it keeps happening to him over and over again. Nobody
He
understands why.
loves to be the first person to do things. He should be thrilled.
Yeah, well, he's got a record now. I mean, it's going to be a tough one to top. This is like, I think he's going to, it's like he's the Cal Ripken of impeachments now.
Well, that's something.
Are people watching The Leftovers because I feel like that's a show that is one of, to me, the best shows ever. And not enough people watched it when it was out. Are people now watching it again?
Well, now with quarantine, they're running out of things to watch. So inevitably,
Yeah.
all the people that said they were going to finally found their way to watching it. And yeah, it's unfortunately very timely about the collective grieving in a society. And no one ever recognizes me except for Leftovers fans. And I have to
Is
say,
that
my
right?
experiences with those people are always really satisfying. Never trite. They always have a story to tell about why they connected with the show, either through their own personal grief or the loss of a child or a parent. And so, and then of course, then there's just the whole subset of people who just want to know about the ending and whether or not Nora went through. And I'll never tell.
And you'll never tell. Do you actually know, though?
I'll never tell. Of course I know. I had to make a decision. It wouldn't change the performance, I don't think. And I know Justin's been very open about it, his opinion. But, you know, good art, I think when it's ambiguous, it reveals more about the person who's watching it. And so whatever the actress thinks, it doesn't really matter. It's really about the experience that the watcher is having. So
You know
I
what,
won't
Carrie?
tell. And I won't
I've
tell you
always
either.
said that. Okay, you don't have to tell me. I've made my own decisions on that. But thanks for being.
Good, I'm glad.
It's great. I hope to see you next time in the flesh.
I hope so.
The Nest is available now on digital and video on demand. Carrie Coon, everybody. We'll be back with Beach Bunny.
Jimmy, Kimmel, live. This is ridiculous.